Peppa Pig and the Wandering Leaf. Peppa and George are playing in the garden.
Yahoo!
Daddy Pig is standing nearby, watering the flowers. A yellow leaf gently falls down in front of Peppa. A gust of wind blows past. A yellow leaf gently falls in front of Peppa. Peppa runs after it, with George toddling along behind her. Daddy Pig looks up and watches. The leaf floats past Daddy Pig and then lands on his head. Daddy Pig is startled. Daddy Pig smiles as the leaf gently falls down beside Peppa. Peppa holds the leaf, while George stands beside her happily. All three of them look at the leaf, and they all burst out laughing.
Peppa and George's robot and dinosaur toys. Today, the two siblings have new toys. George has a robot, and Peppa has a yellow dinosaur. They play together, taking the robot and dinosaur from the room out into the yard. Aha! They run around, imagine exciting adventures, and happily enjoy their favorite toys. On a hot summer day, George stays at home, sitting in front of a fan to cool off. Peppa Pig comes and sits next to him.
Wow!
Just then, their parents return home from work and see how hot the kids are, so they invite them to go outside. Suddenly, an ice cream truck arrives, bringing cool, delicious treats. The whole family enjoys the ice cream together and has a happy, joyful day.
Whoa!
On a happy Sunday, George brings home a small young plant and invites the whole family to plant it in the yard. Peppa, Mummy Pig, and Daddy Pig join George to dig the soil and carefully plant the tree.
2 hours later.
After waiting for some time, Peppa and George run outside to check the plant. To their surprise, in front of them is a lush little forest full of green leaves. The two siblings happily jump with joy because their small garden has turned into a beautiful forest.
Whoa! Wow!
Huh.
Ha! Peppa Pig and the storytelling chair. It's raining outside. Peppa looks at Daddy Pig's old chair and asks, "Can the chair talk, Daddy?"
Aha!
Daddy Pig smiles. Of course! It has heard thousands of stories. George curiously touches the armrest. Suddenly, the chair shakes gently and begins, "Once upon a time." Peppa and George stare in amazement. Yahoo! In their imagination, Peppa and George go on adventures, riding dinosaurs, flying over rainbows. They wake up on the same chair, smiling. Daddy Pig chuckles. Told you it can tell stories. Everyone laughs happily. Peppa and the Rolling Balloon. Peppa walks into the living room. A small toy car lies on the floor. Peppa sees the toy car and gets an idea.
2 hours later.
Peppa holds a balloon. Peppa ties the balloon string to the back of the toy car. Peppa gently pushes the car. The car rolls slowly. The balloon sways behind. Peppa opens her eyes wide with delight. George runs into the room. George sees the toy car rolling. George lightly taps the car. The car rolls faster on the floor. The car rolls around the living room. Peppa and George run after the car.
Yahoo!
After catching the car, they look at each other and laugh happily. Peppa Pig and the opening box. Peppa and George are playing in the living room. In the corner of the room, there's a small cardboard box with its lid slightly open. Daddy Pig is sitting on a chair, and Mummy Pig is sitting beside him. Peppa bends down to look inside the box. George is also curious and leans closer to the box. The box shakes slightly, making both of them jump in surprise. Peppa opens the box completely. Daddy Pig sees it from a distance, so he walks over and leans in to look inside. Inside are a few toys. Peppa holds the toy, and George jumps up excitedly. Daddy Pig and Mummy Pig smile. The empty box lies still on the floor. Peppa Pig and the Magical Garden. Peppa is playing when she suddenly kicks a softly glowing stone. When she sets it back down, a glowing sprout slowly rises from the ground. The sprout grows quickly into a shimmering magical flower bush. George runs over, and the two happily admire the glowing flowers. Finally, Peppa's whole family sits down to admire the giant flower tree. Peppa and George joyfully hop on the huge blossoms, feeling truly happy. Peppa Pig and Daddy Pig's hat. Daddy Pig sits on a chair in the garden, wearing his familiar hat and holding a glass of water. Peppa and George are playing with a ball nearby. Daddy Pig stands up to water the plants and accidentally leaves his hat on the chair. A gentle breeze blows by, and the hat gently wobbles. Peppa sees the hat and walks over curiously. Huh? Peppa tries on the hat. It's too big and covers her eyes. George giggles. A stronger gust of wind blows through. The hat flies off Peppa's head. Peppa and George run after the hat. The hat lands right in front of Daddy Pig. Daddy Pig bends down, picks up the hat, and puts it back on his head. Peppa and George run over, see Daddy Pig wearing his hat, and laugh loudly. Peppa and George are inside the house. Peppa holds a sheet of blue paper. Carefully, she folds the paper into the shape of an airplane. Beep, beep, beep! Peppa makes the sound of a plane taking off. Peppa gives the paper plane to George. George smiles widely. He holds the plane and runs around the room. Whoosh, whoosh! George makes the sound of the plane flying in the air. Peppa claps her hands to cheer on her little brother. George runs near the window. He throws the plane. The plane flies out the window, loops around once, and lands on the green grass in the garden. Peppa and George watch in surprise. Peppa and George run outside into the garden together. They look everywhere for the paper plane. Hooray! Hooray! George shouts when he finds the plane on the lawn. They both pick it up and run back inside the house, laughing happily. Peppa Pig and the Mysterious Island. Peppa and George are playing on the sand when they find an old treasure map washed ashore. Excitement fills their hearts as they imagine the adventure ahead. Peppa opens the treasure map, her eyes sparkling with curiosity. George watches beside her, and both giggle joyfully at the idea of finding a secret treasure. They cross a pretend forest and climb little rocks. laughing as if conquering great challenges. Finally, they discover a small chest hidden under a bush. Inside is a treasure of old toys and candies, and they cheer with delight. Mummy Pig steps out, smiling as she watches Peppa and George enjoy their little treasure. Their imagination fills the house with laughter. The whole family sits around the treasure chest, sharing stories and laughing together. A magical afternoon of adventure ends in happiness. Aha!
Huh.
Go! Go! Peppa Pig and the Endless Ladder. Peppa and George discover a ladder that seems to have no end. With each step, the ladder looks a little taller. It feels like the ladder is reaching for the sky. Even the ladder seems excited. Suddenly, it shrinks back to normal. Sometimes, imagination is the tallest thing of all.
Peppa and George's treasure hunt. Today is a beautiful day. Peppa finds an old treasure map under a tree. And George quickly runs over to join the adventure. The two siblings follow the first red X, splashing through puddles while carefully holding the map against the wind. In the forest, Peppa leads the way, while George points at the symbols on the map. Falling leaves swirl around them, making the journey feel even more magical. Peppa and George climb up the slippery grass hill, sliding down a bit and giggling, but still determined to reach the top. Under a big tree, they discover a small chest. Inside are old toys the two had lost before. Peppa and George happily hug their rediscovered treasure. Peppa Pig and the Cloudlight Bridge. A shining cloud drifts down, catching Peppa and George's attention. It forms a soft path lifting them into the sky. They discover a glowing rainbow-like bridge above the clouds. They run across it among floating light flowers and cloudbirds. The cloud brings them home with a tiny glowing flower in their hands. Oh!
Peppa Pig and the Little Fan. One day, Peppa finds a small fan on the floor near the stairs.
Whoa!
She picks it up and turns it on. A gentle breeze blows, making Peppa feel amused. George puts his hand near the fan to feel the cool air. Peppa places a small piece of paper in front of the fan, and it lifts into the air. The little fan turns the moment into a fun and playful experience for Peppa and George.
One morning, George wakes up and looks around his room. Toys are scattered all over the floor. Books lie in a messy pile on the desk. And the blanket and pillows are all over the bed. George he hands on, he hips, sighs, but decides he will turn a messy room into a tidy, cozy place. George starts picking up each toy, sorting them by shape and color, then placing them into different boxes. One for cars, one for stuffed animals, and one for building blocks. Each time George closes a lid, George stacks the boxes neatly against the wall. George folds his blanket carefully, smoothing out each corner. While folding, a big teddy bear hidden inside the blanket falls to the floor. George giggles, hugs the bear for a moment, then places it neatly at the head of the bed, right next to her favorite pillow. After dusting the desk and arranging the books in order, George steps back to look at the whole room. Everything is clean and tidy, the floor is clear and shiny. George lies down on the bed, opens a picture book, and enjoys the cozy feeling of George's freshly cleaned room. Peppa and George are playing with a balloon in the park. A strong gust of wind blows the balloon up into the sky. Peppa looks up at the balloon, startled. George points at the sky, following the balloon with his eyes. Peppa and Daddy Pig start running after the balloon, trying to keep up as it flies higher. Peppa and Daddy Pig run across the grassy field, their legs moving quickly. George runs behind, watching the balloon and smiling. Peppa and Daddy Pig spot the balloon caught in a tree branch. Peppa points at the tree, excited to see the balloon. Daddy Pig uses a long stick to try and reach the balloon from the tree. Peppa hops around happily. Peppa and Daddy Pig are happy to have rescued the balloon. Peppa holds the balloon in her hands, smiling. George jumps up joyfully. The pig family sits down together and continues to play in the park. The pig family arrives at a farm to try being farmers for the day. We're going to be farmers and take care of the plants, Peppa says. Everyone gets ready to start working on the farm. Peppa and George start watering the plants. I'm going to water the plants so they can grow big and strong, Peppa says. George helps his sister by watering around the garden. Peppa and George begin to pick ripe tomatoes from the garden. Look, our tomatoes are ready, Peppa says. The pig family continues to pick vegetables and put them in their baskets. After a hard day's work on the farm, the pig family sits down to enjoy the vegetables they just picked. We can eat what we've grown with our own hands, Daddy Pig says. Everyone enjoys a meal and feels proud of their hard work. After a hard day's work, the pig family sits down to rest. Being a farmer is fun, but I like playing more, Peppa says. Daddy Pig laughs and says, helping on the farm is good, but playing is fun too. The whole family laughs and feels proud of their work.
Mummy Pig teaches Peppa Pig to share food. Today, Peppa had a very delicious cake. George looked at the cake and wanted to eat it too. Peppa liked the cake so much that she didn't want to share. George looked at it sadly. Mummy Pig gently explained that sharing food with family makes meals more joyful. Peppa thought for a moment, then cut the cake and gave a piece to George. George happily ate his cake. Peppa also smiled and enjoyed her piece. Sitting together on the porch, the whole family shared the cake. Peppa realized that sharing food makes everyone happier.
Peppa Pig and the Mischievous Breeze. Peppa hangs a handkerchief on the clothesline in the sunny garden. George holds a few wooden pegs, trying to help his sister secure it. Suddenly, a gust of wind sweeps through, sending the cloth fluttering and then soaring away. Peppa dashes after it, George giggling as he follows close behind. The handkerchief twirls around the flower beds, landing briefly on a pile of dry leaves. Just as Peppa reaches out, the breeze lifts it up again, making them both laugh at the teasing game. At last, the cloth drifts down gently and lands right on Daddy Pig's head as he reads the newspaper outside. Daddy Pig looks up, puzzled for a moment, then chuckles as the little ones rush over. Peppa and George burst into laughter. One fine evening, Little Pig was sleeping soundly in his room. But as he closed his eyes and fell asleep, a strange dream began. The little pig opened his eyes and found himself at the bottom of the sea, surrounded by colorful fish and beautiful coral reefs. Little Pig wanders into an underwater garden where sea flowers are blooming and dancing to cheerful music. The baby pig swims like a little fish and can even surf like a superhero. Everything under the sea is fun and colorful. After a wonderful adventure, Little Pig felt a little tired and decided to return to the real world. The water world gradually disappeared, leaving behind a feeling of relief. A happy morning starts with, a delicious chocolate cake. Oh my, who could resist? But when the baby turned around, oh what? Where did the cake go? The little pig is on a hunt. Under the table, in the fridge, even in his boots. And finally, the cake was right in the hands of the pig, eating deliciously. But don't worry, Piggy has prepared a second portion of cake for you. How sweet! Little Pig and his sister decided to explore a forest that was said to have many strange things. But no one expected that. Today would be a special adventure. As they went deeper into the forest, they came across a giant tree, standing tall in the middle of the road. But not any ordinary tree. Suddenly, a mysterious warning rang out from within the tree. Be careful, darkness is approaching, and things will never be the same again. Suddenly, the atmosphere changed. The shadows of the trees began to move, but it wasn't the wind. Little Pig and Sister Pig ran faster, but the darkness seemed to be unyielding. And in the end, nothing strange happened. Everything was in the sisters' imagination. Little Pig and Sister Pig are preparing a wonderful party with delicious grilled food. Everyone is happy, but something unexpected is about to happen. Suddenly, there was a sizzling sound from the oven. Something was definitely wrong. Little Pig and Big Sister Pig ran around the kitchen in a panic. Little Pig grabbed everything to put out the fire while Big Sister searched for a towel. But would this help? But then a miracle happened. Sister Pig found the fire extinguisher and ran out to put out the fire. One beautiful morning, Little Pig and Little Pig were walking in the garden. Little Pig suddenly discovered a big rock. But the strange thing was, this rock could move. The curious little pig approached the rock, and in the blink of an eye, the rock started rolling, as if it wanted to lead the little pig somewhere. The stone led Little Pig into a mysterious area of the garden, where there was a small gate covered with wildflowers. The gate seemed never to have been opened. As they passed through the mysterious gate, Little Pig and Sister Pig enter a magical garden, a vast flower garden, and a giant candy garden. So the adventure ends, but this mysterious garden will surely have many interesting things waiting for Little Pig and Sister Pig to discover. Who knows where this stone will lead them next?
Peppa Pig and the shadow that wouldn't listen. It's a sunny afternoon until Peppa and George notice that there's an extra shadow on the ground. This shadow doesn't follow what Peppa does. It clearly enjoys doing the opposite. Every time they try to control it, the shadow finds a new way to not cooperate. So Peppa and George stop trying to understand it and start playing with it instead. And then, as a cloud passes by, the shadow disappears as if it was never there. Peppa and George learn that some things don't need to be understood. They just need to be played with.
It was a bright, breezy morning in Peppa's backyard. As Peppa wandered around, she spotted a colorful umbrella lying forgotten in the corner of the garden. Peppa curiously picked it up, wondering what fun she could have with it. Suddenly, a big gust of wind blew. The umbrella opened wide, lifting Peppa off the ground. She squealed in surprise. Up in the sky, Peppa floated and twirled like a pink bird with a rainbow wing. The wind carried her over the yard, spinning in circles, dipping and soaring. Down below, Mummy Pig, Daddy Pig, and George gasped, then burst into laughter as they watched Peppa's unexpected flight show. The wind slowed down, and Peppa landed gently on the soft grass. Her family rushed over as Peppa waved with a big smile. The pig family arrives at a farm to try being farmers for the day. "We're We're going to be farmers and take care of the plants, Peppa says. Everyone gets ready to start working on the farm. Peppa and George start watering the plants. I'm going to water the plants so they can grow big and strong, Peppa says. George helps his sister by watering around the garden. Peppa and George begin to pick ripe tomatoes from the garden. Look, our tomatoes are ready, Peppa says. The pig family continues to pick vegetables and put them in their baskets. After a hard day's work on the farm, the pig family sits down to enjoy the vegetables they just picked. We can eat what we've grown with our own hands, Daddy Pig says. Everyone enjoys a meal and feels proud of their hard work. After a hard day's work, the pig family sits down to rest. Being a farmer is fun, but I like playing more, Peppa says. Daddy Pig laughs and says, helping on the farm is good, but playing is fun too. The whole family laughs and feels proud of their work. It's a beautiful day, and Peppa and George go to the park with Daddy Pig, bringing along their colorful new kite. Daddy Pig excitedly runs as fast as he can to make the kite fly high. But Daddy Pig suddenly trips over a rock. The kite still soars up high, but then gets stuck on the statue's ear in the park. Peppa and George look up, both surprised and giggling. A strong gust of wind blows through, pulling the kite down and covering Daddy Pig's head. He stumbles around blindly, while Peppa and George burst into fits of giggles. What was supposed to be a simple trip to the park turns into an unexpected comedy show. The wind blows stronger, making the kite slip right out of Daddy Pig's hand and swirl around in the sky. Peppa and George run after it, giggling and reaching up to catch it. Daddy Pig hurries along too, but quickly becomes out of breath. Today, Peppa and George have found an old car tire in the garden. It's round and shiny black, looking rather mysterious. Peppa has an idea. Let's roll it. So, the two begin pushing the tire around the garden, giggling as it wobbles along. But, oh dear, the tire suddenly rolls away, right down the little slope outside. Peppa and George gasp and chase after it. Their tiny feet scramble as fast as they can, dust flying everywhere, while the tire rolls faster and faster and faster. The tire bounces straight into the vegetable patch. Thump! A carrot shoots into the air. Whoosh! Lettuces tumble all over the ground. Daddy Pig, who was watering the plants, looks up in surprise. He rubs his eyes in disbelief. A naughty tire is wrecking the whole garden. Daddy Pig hurries over, ready to scold them. But when he sees Peppa and George laughing loudly in the puddle, he can't help but laugh too. Mud sprays everywhere. Their clothes are filthy, but everyone is happy. For Peppa and George, even an old car tire can turn into the best game ever. Peppa and George are playing with a balloon in the park. A strong gust of wind blows the balloon up into the sky. Peppa looks up at the balloon, startled. George points at the sky, following the balloon with his eyes. Peppa and Daddy Pig start running after the balloon, trying to keep up as it flies higher. Peppa and Daddy Pig run across the grassy field, their legs moving quickly. George runs behind, watching the balloon and smiling. Peppa and Daddy Pig spot the balloon caught in a tree branch. Peppa points at the tree, excited to see the balloon. Daddy Pig uses a long stick to try and reach the balloon from the tree. Peppa hops around happily. Peppa and Daddy Pig are happy to have rescued the balloon. Peppa holds the balloon in her hands, smiling. George jumps up joyfully. The pig family sits down together and continues to play in the park. One morning, George wakes up and looks around his room. Toys are scattered all over the floor. Books lie in a messy pile on the desk. and the blanket and pillows are all over the bed. George puts, he hands on, he hips, sighs, but decides he will turn her messy room into a tidy, cozy place. George starts picking up each toy, sorting them by shape and color, then placing them into different boxes. One for cars, one for stuffed animals, and one for building blocks. Each time George closes a lid, George stacks the boxes neatly against the wall. George folds his blanket carefully, smoothing out each corner. While folding, a big teddy bear hidden inside the blanket falls to the floor. George giggles, hugs the bear for a moment, then places it neatly at the head of the bed, right next to her favorite pillow. After dusting the desk and arranging the books in order, George steps back to look at the whole room. Everything is clean and tidy, the floor is clear and shiny. George lies down on the bed, opens a picture book, and enjoys the cozy feeling of George's freshly cleaned room. Peppa and George stood on the grass, seeing a big banner. Funny dance contest. George did a flip in the air, making Peppa laugh happily. Peppa tried dancing to the music, but slipped on a leaf, both of them laughing uncontrollably. Daddy and Mummy Pig stood beside them, clapping and cheering them on. Finally, Peppa and George received their medals, and the whole family hugged and laughed together.
Woo-hoo-hoo! Uh-oh. Whoa! Uh-oh. Whoa!
Let's go. Aha.
Oh! summer day, George stays at home, sitting in front of a fan to cool off. Peppa Pig comes and sits next to him.
Wow!
Just then, their parents return home from work and see how hot the kids are, so they invite them to go outside. Suddenly, an ice cream truck arrives, bringing cool, delicious treats. The whole family enjoys the ice cream together and has a happy, joyful day.
Whoa!
On a happy Sunday, George brings home a small young plant and invites the whole family to plant it in the yard. Peppa, Mummy Pig, and Daddy Pig join George to dig the soil and carefully plant the tree.
2 hours later.
After waiting for some time, Peppa and George run outside to check the plant. To their surprise, in front of them is a lush little forest full of green leaves. The two siblings happily jump with joy because their small garden has turned into a beautiful forest.
Today, Daddy Pig and Mummy Pig come home after a fun day out. Before going inside, Mommy Pig places a star-shaped hat, just like a wizard's hat, on a chair. George has just woken up and is still feeling sleepy. He slowly walks toward the door. Peppa notices the strange hat and picks it up. Suddenly, the hat floats up and gently lands on Peppa's head. Huh? Peppa laughs happily and runs outside. Seeing this, George quickly runs after her. Yoo-hoo! Hey!
Huh? 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 Hey! Hey, hey!
Huh. Oh. Come on, let's go.
Peppa and George couldn't believe their eyes.
Wow.
A giant truck was parked right in their yard. This truck is not only big but full of strange things inside. Peppa is curious and wants to try them all. George tried to push the giant wheel, but he might need a bit more strength to move it. No worries. Peppa decides to drive the giant truck, but it seems it's not as easy as she thought. Sometimes all it takes is a little push on the gas pedal to start an adventure, even if it's a bit out of control. Finally, the truck stops, and Peppa and George realize one thing. Sometimes, the fun starts with the most random things. Peppa and the shared umbrella. It's a rainy morning, and Peppa brings her favorite pink umbrella. She sees Wendy Wolf getting wet under a tree. Peppa smiles and shares her umbrella with Wendy. They walk together, splashing puddles and singing happily. Madame Gazelle says, "Sharing is wonderful." Peppa and Wendy smile under the pink umbrella. One day in the high-flying balloon. One day, while the family was together, Mummy Pig had an idea. Let's go on a hot air balloon ride. Everyone happily agreed. When they arrived, Peppa and her brother were amazed by the huge balloon and ran ahead. Daddy and Mummy followed, and the whole family climbed aboard. The balloon slowly floated up, passing small clouds. and finally drifting into a sky full of sparkling stars.